What are those Neanderthals up to? Don't they know I'm busy spoiling myself?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to How the Blank, brought to you by What the Blank, and today is How the Online Entertainment.
So, how do you guys feel being in boxes on a screen online?
Quite
I don't know.
claustrophobic.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
feel like
like,
Jackson's too close to me.
I can get closer.
let me move him. Just being the online setter upper of this.
He's touching me!
This box is touching my box.
I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. Dude, that stuff is so crazy.
Damn, bro, you got the whole squad laughing.
Oh my
So-
goodness.
Online entertainment. Everything's online now. Movies are streaming. Even theater is streamed sometimes, which is kind of weird.
Yeah,
Video games.
video
Reddit.
games, TikTok. Like TikTok's one of the biggest forms of entertainment right now. You should check out our
Follow us.
post.
I mean, short form content in general is one of the most popular forms of entertainment. I mean, think about the amount of kids and like young adults that are always scrolling. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, all of it. You know, it's huge right now. Like, I honestly think it's more popular than like video games right now. It's just one of those things that everybody's always got access to and they're always doing it, you know, but it's entertaining.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and like with, I've noticed, like, do you remember when Vine was huge? Like, I feel like that was one of the biggest, like, beginnings of, like, short form entertainment of just scrolling. You know, like, yes,
yeah.
there was, like, Facebook and stuff, but, like, that was scrolling, but it was also a lot of, like, chatting at the beginning. And now it's just kind of gone to that form of just, like, all right, next thing, like, come on, more.
Get that
And there's
dopamine hit.
Yeah, there's also those like studies that because it hits like the dopamine so fast that it's like people's attention spans are getting extremely small,
Mhm.
and like
Yep.
their patience is also getting shorter too. Just because
Yeah.
like everybody's so used to having what they want right now, and then like sometimes the dopamine's like fading for people who are on it for too long. So it's having like weird effects on people.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Like I work in schools, right? And a lot of kids, you have to do a school schedule by 15-minute increments now. It used to be about 30-minute increments. Now it's every 15 minutes it has to change, which is kind of crazy to like think about how just everything just goes bam, 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 right?
That is so weird.
Yeah.
It's because the attention spans are going down. Like everyone's losing that attention span. I think one thing that I watched actually on YouTube, it was actually really interesting, but this channel, he was talking about kind of exactly what we've just been saying, but especially like Gen Alpha and Gen Z, these like what I mean, you guys wouldn't consider yourselves like millennials or like because we're all like right between millennial and Gen Z. Like I know Brandon and I are pretty much like right on the border, and Braxton, you're not too far from it, but like
I'm 1 year older than you guys, so
okay.
I can't wait until I'm aged like you, so I don't have to worry about important things.
Okay, so you're closer to being more millennial than we are, but
I'm 1 year off of millennial. I'm like the
okay.
first 2 years of being Gen Z.
Okay. But here's the thing, dude. What's crazy about it is if you think about the amount of parents, like especially millennial parents, who are raising their kids, and sometimes those kids get a little out of hand, they get a little rowdy. What do? Oh, here's an iPad, here's an iPhone. Scroll through TikTok for an hour, watch Cocomelon for 3 hours. I don't know. You know what I mean? And dude, this video, he talked about how Cocomelon specifically has like their scenes change every like 3 seconds or less. It's like boom, boom, boom. It's like scene change, and they're colorful, they're vibrant, they're attention catching. And there's a reason to that. You know what I mean? It's addictive for those kids. It's addictive to, you know, all of that. And so it's one of those huge things that everybody wants to watch, like especially the little kids, and their parents just want to give it to them because it's easy for them to just watch it. You know what I mean? And it gives them that dopamine like right then and there. It's the same thing with like TikTok and Instagram for especially the younger generations right now. And we're seeing, you know, we're seeing that it's all changing significantly in the amount of attention and yeah, just the amount of like stuff that that the younger generation is talking about and able to do. It's declining a little bit.
Our society will continue as normal. Work will go on. You will pay your bills.
And what's crazy is I've seen this in theater as well. Like theater stuff has been changing where you don't have the like 6-minute dance scenes anymore, right? You have dance scenes that are maybe 1 to 2 minutes now because attention's just going lower and lower and lower. Like if you look back at like Guys and Dolls or Oklahoma, right? There was a 14-minute dance dream scene in Oklahoma, right? And now like no one's gonna watch that, right? Like that's way too long. While most like dance stuff and things are, how long would you say? Like 30 seconds to 3 minutes, right?
Dude, even like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I don't know. It has weird effects. Also, another thing that's having like a weird effect, and I don't know how I feel about it because I'm kind of excited, but yet utterly disappointed in society, and then that also makes me feel weird inside because I'm also still slightly excited about it. Is like the fact that all the childhood things that we used to love long term as a kid are becoming movies for people to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
Like,
like the reboots. Yeah, like everything's being rebooted right now.
well, no, but like even Mattel's making movies now based on their toys. Like Barbie was a big hit, and then they have like I think they're coming out with a Monopoly movie, which is like I don't even know how they're gonna make that happen. But like all these things that are like they're board games we played as a kid, popular toys, or things that like we would play with long term are now becoming shortened movies. And that's what people are going to know them for. They're not going to actually remember a Barbie doll or playing with a board game anymore because there's movies off of it. They're going to think that's all it ever was.
The Monopoly, I think the movie is just going to be this would be my concept that I think would be hilarious. You do it similar to the Lego movie, where like it's the outer people playing it, and you have one kid that's a tyrant that's taking all the buildings and stuff, and they're the banker as well, and they're stealing all the money, and, and they're just a greedy kid, and everyone takes over and just I don't know, they just like die in the end just because greed begets greed, and everyone dies at the end.
I don't think anyone dies in Monopoly. What?
No, everyone goes to jail though. No, they're thrown to the jailhouse.
Womp womp.
But that, even that, like Lego has a movie, like so many movies, but like that was kind of like the start of it. And now there's like Lego and NASCAR and Barbie and Monopoly and all these things that are coming out. And it's like, how's that going to change like the history of what kids remember as enjoyment time as a kid now?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what else is even crazier is the amount of movies that are being remade. Like all of our old childhood movies that we used to love watching growing up, they're being remade now. And everyone does not like everyone that I've talked to, I haven't heard any like positive feedback from anybody that's seen all the new remakes so far. It's like the Mulan one wasn't that good apparently. Like the Lion King one wasn't that good apparently. Huh?
I did like the Lion King because they actually stayed on story, but like Mulan, they took out Mushu, which is like the character everybody loved.
Yeah.
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow.
And then like I just watched I just watched Mowgli like literally this weekend. And it's like the reboot of Jungle Book. Yeah. Entirely different story. Has nothing to do with the actual Jungle Book. And no music.
Oh, so Mowgli was actually created not by Disney, but they did a Jungle Book like forever ago in 2015. That one was good. It's just the Mowgli show is actually based off the original like Jungle Book and stuff. And I don't know. I didn't really like it, but
I agree. Like I think they should have left it with the original story. And honestly, I would have been just fine if they didn't make any of those remakes.
Yeah.
But, you know, so to each their own.
It's like, so like your opinion is like, if it just loses popularity and it dies out, then it just dies out.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
What's your take on it, Braxton?
See, the thing is, I feel like remakes are good for certain things, but it's like, okay, I think of it back in like 2012 with Clash of the Titans, right? I love the new Clash of the Titans movies because it took what they couldn't do back in the 60s and 70s that they could do now and show. Right, I think they need to do more of that with those older movies. Or like Planet of the Apes. I love the new Planet of the Apes movies. They're actually pretty great. But that's just me. I really like that. But I feel like remaking stuff that was animated to live action, that's just, it's a little too far. And it doesn't translate as well. It's harder, right? While I feel like a movie I really want to see that to like remake and stuff is like the old horror movies. I would love to see those like remade, like The Birds and stuff like that. I feel like that would be awesome.
I mean, they did that with Texas Chainsaw. They've remade Texas Chainsaw 3 times within like the last 5 years, and each with a different storyline. One was actually like based off the actual movie. Then each other one was like completely different studios, completely different stories that had nothing to do with the actual trilogy.
Oh wow!
And then they kind of are doing that a little bit. Like Scream isn't exactly being remade, but it's being picked up again after being dead for so long. And then they kind of remade Hellraiser, Pinhead. Yeah. They redid him. And Candyman, and like I don't know, people are having like, because it's not dedicated to the cult classics. Like they're kind of remaking the stories now that they've been out so long.
It's not the same.
Yeah, I think that's what's been happening with a lot of different things, dude. Like even music is being remade from a long time ago. Like it's being remixed and turned into like other forms of genres and other music and everything like that. And like the movies and everything too, and even TV shows, like they're making new TV shows based off of older TV shows or over older storylines or older books or whatever. But I think, you know, for things like that, like if you're making a new TV show or something based on a novel or a book or something, like that's pretty cool, you know. But with other things, like if you're just remaking like an old cartoon from 1999, or something, and it has an amazing story, has an amazing plot, has awesome characters, music and everything. Like, why would you remake it for the younger generation? It's like they could watch the same thing that we watched and still get the same reaction out of it.
Okay, but okay, so I know what you're going with, like with X-Men, right? X-Men 97, right? How they did that. I actually really like what they did because they just continued the story. They didn't remake it. They just continued the story because it ended on a cliffhanger. And to be honest, like it continued on, and I loved the first season of X-Men 97. It was really phenomenal. I just wish they'd do more of that. Right? I think they need to do more continuations than remakes. Right?
Yeah,
I think
that's what I'm getting at too. Like like not just remaking the whole thing again, because like when you just redo the same storyline and just change a couple things here and there, it's not that interesting. But you know, you're continuing onto the story or adding onto it or making something like different within like something else. Like it makes it more interesting to actually watch, which is good. But just redoing the entire story pretty much is like, meh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is like some of the like controversial online entertainment. Like, what's some other good online entertainment that people are really into? Like, I feel like social media is changing a little bit. Like, with people, I feel like a lot of people are now switching over like YouTube or Reddit or Twitch, like for their entertainment needs, to people that are like anti-streaming with all the price hikes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like YouTube has really kind of become its own TV service is the best way to put it. Like where the content has to be that like and what's funny is you either see super long form like 2 hour videos or 5 minutes, right? And like you get some in between, but like you have those two like big extremes, and YouTube is kind of where a lot of people go for their long form content, and then TikTok is where they go for a lot of their shorter form. But YouTube's trying to like grab onto that with their YouTube Shorts, and I've actually started like using YouTube Shorts, and I actually like it, but I wish it connected more to the long form videos, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, I love this guy. What's their other stuff? And it's so hard to actually find their other videos. And
Yeah, I wish it could connect to the channel, like directly. Like on TikTok, you can swipe and it goes straight to the channel. Like I wish YouTube had something like that. 'Cause
yeah,
most of it's like I want to continue that video that I just watched.
Yeah, I agree.
um,
Yeah.
and what's funny is YouTube has evolved to be like this media like outsource, right? This is where like media goes to be seen and to be heard and to like have their own voice, right? That's why we are on YouTube, right? Because we want our voice to be heard, and it can't be silenced here unless you don't play to the algorithm. um, and so I think it's really interesting that way. While like TikTok has been so product heavy, have you noticed that too? Like I can't scroll for like 5 minutes without seeing check this out on TikTok Shop, check this out on TikTok Shop. Like, but I'm actually kind of enjoying it because it's like normal everyday people showing these products and still doing content with it. And I love you, but I hate you. And that's what I kind of enjoy is the evolve, like how it evolves that way. But it's so interesting, all the changes that's been happening.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
that's kind of the same thing.
Things.
Oh, go ahead, Brandon. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. One of the things to touch on YouTube and TikTok is like YouTube used to be like one of the highest paying social media apps for people who got really successful in the algorithm. But now TikTok went from absolutely no monetization to being the top paying.
Mm-hmm.
And now people who do use Shop or they get in the algorithm where they can keep like several like tens of thousands of views or hundreds of thousands of views per video for like such an extended period of time, they're making like career changing money. Where like that used to be only YouTube could do it and only so few people could achieve it. But now it's like people are doing the same thing on TikTok with short form video.
Yeah. And well, and what's crazy is YouTube doesn't monetize their shorts. And so you get no money from shorts, right? Shorts is just to just get you to your video and see people like can see your stuff. And and it's like I really think YouTube needs to change that, because YouTube is amazing. It's an amazing platform that has an amazing setup. It's just they need to evolve quicker with the times.
Yeah. And I think what's also crazy about like the social media thing is going along with it, like before, years ago when they were still kind of young and, you know, it was still kind of newer to people, but, you know, people were kind of familiar with it. Like it wasn't so heavy with ads and product placement or anything like that, because it was still kind of new. And now what happens is like you get on shorts, you get on reels, you get on TikTok, or you're just scrolling through your For You page or whatever it is, or even just your home page, and you're getting ads, ad, and you scroll like maybe 3 or 4 posts, and then there's an ad in there. Scroll again, maybe 4 or 5 posts, and there's another ad in there. But I mean, it helps people like make their money, and it does help the company at least, you know, do their thing with like Instagram and Facebook. It helps them make their money or whatever. But sometimes I think it does get a little much with the ad placement sometimes, you know what I mean? Because it can get a little bit annoying, but some of those ads are pretty interesting overall. It's just kind of like some of them are kind of annoying, but it's just crazy with the amount of stuff that's been changing in the last like few years. I mean, like 5-6 years. I mean, it's been changing a whole bunch, especially since like 2018. It's gotten like way different than it used to be. But, you know, and I guess it's also different because the algorithms are now starting to use more advanced AI. And so everything is going based on like how long you watch a video, what kind of videos you're watching, like, are you liking anything? Are you disliking? Are you commenting? What are you commenting? And like, how are you saying things online? Like it shows you like very specific things based on like all of those things nowadays. So it's really easy to see things that you want to see. And it's also really easy to see things that you don't like, just to get more traction on that thing. You know what I mean? Like, especially political views and other things. But yeah, it's very interesting with how things are changing.
I kind of like that though, because then I can get what I want. Like it knows me. But like sometimes it'll get bad where like I'll see the same guy like 5 videos in a row, and I'm like, I'm bored of him.
Yeah.
Give me something else, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Well, and I think something just to like, because I think we need to wrap up soon. But I want to talk about this really quick. Is the fact that so many people are trying to educate online right now and like inform. Like this is the information age even more. Like, because it used to be very much where, oh, you just watch what you watch and you have the opinion of everyone else because that's just what it is. While now, because of TikTok, a lot of people are like, this is what's happening in our government or like in the world, and I want you to know because this is insane and this needs to change. I feel like the world, because of social media, especially because of TikTok, like everyone has even more of a voice now, and they're not being snuffed out as much. What's your guys' thoughts on that? Where especially like politically, a lot of people are voicing their opinions.
No one asked your opinion, you filthy little mudblood.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think having free speech is a good thing, you know, as long as, you know, some people get carried away and take free speech to hate speech, but I think being able to state your opinions and being able to point out flaws or give concerns or thoughts, even if they're not always like ideal quality, or being able to test something, where right, you have a thought, you put it out there and get the feedback. Like these platforms are magical for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I agree with that, because obviously, like, people need a place to vent or need a place to get their thoughts out, and obviously, social media like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, they're a really, really great platform for being able to get your thoughts out there and putting, your own ideas out there into the world and tell people like how you feel about things. But I think what's very important about this is we need free speech, obviously, especially in our country, because that's what our country is built on, is having free speech and like all these rights and everything. But when it comes down to like talking about certain subjects that might be very sensitive to certain people, I can understand why like some of these platforms might be kind of how do you explain it? Might be trying to like push it out of the limelight pretty much, just so then like certain people don't see it. But like I feel like it's more important now than ever that people are allowed to say like what they want to say, and be able to like get their ideas out there into the world, because this is really the fastest way for things to spread, like using stuff like this and getting it out there and using the right tags and whatever else is like the perfect way to get your ideas and your thoughts out there. But it's just one of those things.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, thanks for getting online and following us. Please follow us for more How the Blank. And this was How the Online Entertainment.
Yeah. And for all those people out there wanting to engage in some online entertainment or possibly wanting to make their own, we now have our video editing services available on our website. You can contact us for free consultations where we can get you set up, looking good, and out to the right audience. So feel free to check us out there.
Yeah, we are also doing online courses within the next few months through theater and through music. So check us out on whattheblink.org. That will show you to the right spot where you can check out and buy your own online courses. So follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Spotify, and YouTube.
And if you or someone just happens to be an expert in the entertainment field, with that being music, theater, film, backstage, front stage, behind the camera, newsroom, Braxton's sidekick in his dreams, whatever you happen to be, we want to have guests on our podcast. Now that we are virtual, we can open up to more people farther away and hit a larger audience. So please contact us at whattheblink.entertainment@gmail.com if you have any inquiries or interest in possibly being our guest. But please be credible. We love you.
Always watching.
Always watching. Big brother out.